Alright, in this final tutorial I want to go over social sharing on Twitter, and that's using hashtags, @ symbols or mentions, links, and also pictures. Right here I've copy and pasted the link, the type of link that you're going to use to put on your Twitter share button in your version of your Espresso Matchmaker. What you're going to do with this is you can create this in Word or any text editing document you want, or you could put it right in Storyline like I did. And I'm going to go over the parts of the URL. The first part here is the twitter.com, and that's an important part that you're going to have in sharing. So you make sure you have your twitter.com, and then we're going to talk about web intents. And your intent here is to tweet, and you can find out more about web intents at dev.twitter.com/web/intents. This is what's going to make it easy to share it through just your regular browser, but also mobile. And you can read more about that here. So you want to make sure that you have the intent part of that, intent/tweet. And then your intent is, what you want to do is you want to be able to put some text in there. And the text that I have is, I got a ristretto in the Espresso Matchmaker. And you can see here how I have these plus signs, and then I have these percentage signs with a number. What those are, the percentage signs with numbers, they're called escape characters, and what they do is they replace regular symbols that won't work in this type of URL. So the %23 means hashtag, and the plus sign up here means space. And whenever you see that, that's going to equal that character. And there's W3 Schools, a web design development site, that has a whole index of the different characters you can use. The most typical that you're going to use for on Twitter is probably going to be like a hashtag character or a space character. So you can use the plus sign, or you can use %20 to make up that character. And let's go back here and talk a little bit more about that. So how I have the plus sign here, that's going to equal a space. So it's I space got space a space ristretto. So that plus sign will equal the space. Then you're going to have a space after the sentence because you want to have a space between the hashtag word and that sentence. So I have the %23, which it means hashtag Espresso Matchmaker plus @Millaway, and the @ you can just use as a regular @ symbol because that works. Then the tricky part down here is going to be adding the picture, because I've added a picture, and you can see here on Twitter that this is the picture that is going to pop up when you hit the share button. So what I did here was I added that URL, and then I have a space, and then I just have the project file URL, which you can add. You don't have to do anything fancy to, you just add it as a URL. But for the picture, what I have to do is I have to go to Twitter, and I have to go and tweet out this picture. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and click and add the photo, tweet it out, and in order to get that pic URL, what I have to do is click the More button here on whichever picture I want. So let's say I use this one, and then I have to click Embed Tweet. And you're gonna get a bunch of code up there. What you want to do with that code is find that pic. So I'm gonna copy this, Embed Tweet. You can use it in a text editor or just in here. So let's insert text box, and we can go ahead and find that. And I'm going to go ahead and paste to get all this funky code here. And what you want to do is search for the code and find that pic.twitter.com jumble of letters. Alright, so here it is, same exact one here. You're going to go ahead and grab that, copy it. Well, go ahead, copy it. And what you want to do is you just want to click wherever you want to have it in the URL. You don't want to go paste it in there. Same thing, so it's not going to change. But make sure that you have a space between that and your other stuff. So put the plus sign or put the percentage, I think 20 for space. Let's make sure that's what it is. Yeah, %20 for space. And the next step of this, and this is the final step, is to add it to the share. So what I did here was for button 1, let's go ahead and delete that and I'll redo it. So for this button, what I want to do is add a URL, but you gotta make sure you have the URL grabbed. Copy the URL, select the button, click create new trigger, jump, make sure your action is jump to URL. It won't probably come up right away, so you gotta go select it. And then paste that in there. And then click OK. So that's basically all you have to do. And when you go ahead and click that button, what's gonna happen is you're gonna get this image here, and then whatever you had put in for your text will come up here. So anyone who tweets that, that's what they'll put. They can delete it out if they want, but that's really up to them. But that's what they're going to get as the default, is whatever you wrote in your link down here. All right, so that's about it. One last thing before I go, and that would be that the share button is only going to work if you have your Storyline file hosted, so make sure you have it hosted somewhere. And that's about it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter @MelMillaway.